Step into the frame, let me paint the name. Michael Longo, bringing art to the game. Animator, illustrator, vision's insane. Brushstrokes electric, can't contain the flame. Follow the lines, watch the colors collide. Welcome to the canvas, take a creative ride. From the first sketch to the masterpiece vibe, the Longo in the zone, let the art come alive.
Welcome to the Mikaido region, a land rich in history, tradition, and creativity. Here, Pokémon embody a spirit of craftsmanship, blending tradition with imagination. In this region, every design tells a story, and every Pokémon, a work of art.
I bet you were expecting a 10-year-old Pokémon trainer? Sorry to disappoint you. I'm closer to the age of the old guy that gives away fishing rods for free to strangers. Anyways, if you've never heard of the Mikaido region, don't worry about it. It doesn't exist. I made it up because I would love to create from the ground up myths and traditions and culture of this entirely separate Pokemon region, and most importantly, creating new Pokemon. Who doesn't love doing that? Now, before I get to the randomization of it all, I remembered I already created a Pokemon of myself up in my Facebook banner. So I decided I was going to use him in the Mikaido region, and he's going to be my grass starter. Which means he's going to need 2 more Pokemon stages. So, let's get started. Here we go. Alright, we have my previously designed Pokemon of me. You see the beard. Plus he's my 2 favorite types, grass and fighting. I just thought the design looked cool. There's no reason behind the tail. I thought maybe he would be able to cover himself up with his tail like a shield and like a defense curl type thing. But anyways, we need the first evolutionary stage, or stage 2, which is gonna be let's start. See, you gotta look like a bigger bear, right? So trying not to design Peter Griffin. It's very close, or Winnie the Pooh. It's got those cheeks that's really close. So and I was thinking, okay, what's a bigger version of that little bear thing? I gotta emphasize the beard. I gotta emphasize the beard. I think maybe like big bushy beard, but it's leaves. It's leaves because grass type. And then just a bigger version of the little bear. I think that works. Here we go. Now we're just sketching out now for obviously for the more intimidating Pokemon, you gotta do the smaller pupils. You can't do the baby-like giant anime pupils, or else you're not gonna look scary enough or intimidating. And now we do the big burly beard. Let's see how well. Just make them individual leaves, and I think maybe in the middle, one giant one that's like real intimidating. Oh, and like even 2 sort of like the mushroom whisker. Just real gruff and badass looking. I agree, yeah. Alright. And then we got the body with big muscular arms. And just a bigger, more leafier version of the tail. Alright, there you have it.
And I present to you Cubleaf. Cubleaf is a mellow Pokemon that likes to hang around and eat snacks while doodling on boulders and, well, other people with the juices from wild berries. The doodles are often playful and mischievous in nature. Disrupting Cubleaf's peaceful environment has been known to have them grow grumpy and aggressive. Cubleafs aren't known to be nocturnal, but often are seen up late at night. And his evolutionary stage, Grizzleaf. Grizzleaf has been said to paint works of art with colors of the forest when exposed to Rillaboom's magical solos. They are often seen coexisting with Rillabooms as they both value calm harmony.
Alright, awesome. I love that idea of the bigger bear-looking evolution stage with the beard of leaves, really kind of emphasizing the grass type. Now we're going to need a third stage, and that's the final stage. This one's got to be epic, and I was thinking more of like King of the Jungle with a bigger mane-like beard. So let's. All right. So now we're sketching Grizzleaf's final stage. It's got to be real epic. I'm going to keep the beard. In fact, I'm going to make it a lot more intense, a lot bigger, a lot more. Almost grandpa-like. I'm gonna create eyebrows, but like long, almost seaweed or vine-esque eyebrows, just because I think they look cool. And I don't think leaf is appropriate for the third evolution. That sounds too cutesy. So I think we're gonna go with the Latin word for bears, Ursus. So I think we're going to go with Ursus. And just making his tail just so much bigger. And now the cleanup. Just real solid, heavy weighted line work where needed. And tapered lines where they are needed. And I decided to put some hair on the elbows it's also grass, so. A little bit of bushy chest hair, he is the older version. King of the forest. And we're just trying to make the claws kind of balanced. And see, since he's exactly a frontal view, a good cheat, what you can do is just draw half and then copy the image and flip it so that you don't need to try and imitate, or rather get the exact replicate the other side. And that'll be so annoying and frustrating when you can just copy and move it. There you go. See? I just copied it, kind of lined it up, and now just kind of clean up the lines because it happens that way.
So I present to you Cubleaf's final evolutionary stage, Ursus. Ursus is king of the forest and makes it abundantly known. There can be only one Ursus per pack in the wild, and therefore, there can be only one Ursus in any trainer's party at any given time, or the two Ursus will fight endlessly for dominance. Some nights, when Ursus feels creative, He will charge the particles in the atmosphere, creating vibrant waves, curtains, and arcs of light in the night sky like a painting.
Alright, there you have it, our first starter. And now let's have some fun with the randomization of it all. We've got our wheel here, and we're going to first pick our Pokemon type. So we're going to spin the wheel and see what we get. And go! Psychic type, that's one of my favorites, I like that. So next we're going to have to do a theme. Now, as you can see, I have a few ideas up on the wheel here, but add to the comments below your own ideas to add to this wheel. I want to expand on it. I really want to get a good wheel going of random, just everything. And go. Ooh, fungus. Fungus, psychic. Fungus, psychic. I'm thinking psilocybin. Yeah, it's gonna have to be that. Alright, we are leaving off at 11 seconds and go. Alright, so for the first stage of this Pokemon's evolution, I went with the Fly Agaric breed of mushroom. It's very common, it's like Toad from Super Mario. Just like a round cap with white spots over red. I gave him sort of like a monk's robe, as well as a blindfold. I thought was like a creative addition to sort of like he doesn't see, so to speak, but he can see. It's very psychic, right? So, like you think of the ones that kind of blindfold themselves in some way. Alright. Now we're going to sketch the next stage. So this this idea is, it's not necessarily an actual mushroom that you would find in reality. The curled top mushroom is, I did my research, and it doesn't exist. It only ever exists in like fantasy movies or whatnot, stories, comics. So yes, but I still like the idea. It's very much like a wizard's cap. It looks mystical, and to kind of change it up a bit, I decided to give him this giant single eyeball. So you got the the blindfold type of psychic, and now you got the like all-seeing third eye, which I thought was cool. And it could just, like, the eyeball could even like change color, glow, who knows, whatever. Like, sky's the limit for what we create, right? I kept the design of the monk's robe from the first stage evolution, but I added like a patterned collar almost. It's common in a lot of mushrooms. You will see that they're kind of almost like they're peeling, so I'm kind of going with that sort of feel. Like their stem is kind of peeling over. So I'm kind of going with that. A little bit more of the Abra, or rather Alakazam fingers, the 3 fingers, long elongated fingers. Alright. And then let's go with the cleanup, but it's kind of boring because we already did all the fun parts, so I'll speed through that with some music, and we'll get right to the end. Let's do this.
So I couldn't get over the thought that this Pokemon is pretty much psilocybin, so I named him psilocybin. This Pokemon sees its environment through a collection of spores it is constantly releasing into the air, sending information back to psilocybin. Because of this unique ability, these Pokemon are often used for security or surveillance. It is known that if psilocybin likes someone, it will reward them by altering these spores to have this person experience pleasant visions. Similar can be said for people psilocybin does not like. As for psilocybin's evolution, I went with another wordplay, Cytalops, like psychic and cyclops. Cytalops' large eye has been known to see at least 16 cones of color, with 21 vision, with some Cytalops seemingly going beyond 21. Cytalops can also see emotions in people and Pokemon, and are often employed in the mental health field. Now, one feature I made unique to the Mikaido region was type-specific moves. For example, when Cytalops reaches level 26, he can learn Infect. It is up to the Pokemon trainer then to choose if he wants to learn the psychic version of Infect, which targets the mind and infects with intrusive thoughts, giving you a 30% chance for 3 turns to cause confusion or the Pokemon to flinch. It also lowers special defense by 1 stage immediately. Or, the Pokemon trainer can choose the poison version of Infect. The user releases a toxic spore, infecting the opponent, giving you a 50% chance of inflicting badly poison, which is a toxic condition. If the target is already poisoned, it lowers its attack by 1 stage. Also, if you choose the Poison Infect move, it also gives you the variant color palette of Cytalops, which I think is really cool.
There you have it, art lovers and Pokemon fans. Our first episode of the Mikaido region. Like, subscribe, follow along, because we're going to keep adding to this, creating new and cool Pokemon. And, comment down below. Just kind of give your ideas. Throw them out. Let's build this Mikaido region together. See you next time.